Do you have anything specific in mind?
Mostly just laning and game sense.
Okay, sure, sure. Do you mind linking me your Dota buff really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Gonna share my screen. Okay. Holy shit, you have 460 games in Crystal Maiden. Good lord. Alright, that is intense. Okay. I can't blame you though, she can be pretty fun. Okay. So yeah, you're clearly in a position where like you got a lot going on in real life, right? Like work and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you don't get to play much, it seems.
Well,
Okay.
last few days was just because I've been moving, but I
Mm.
try to play a couple, like three games a day, maybe
Mm.
3-4 games, depending.
Yeah, 3 to 4 games is like totally adequate for improving. Um, it's certainly hard to improve like when you're moving and stuff. Like I'm sure you don't expect for that to happen. So, um, yeah, okay. So looks pretty standard. Um, yeah, I guess we can just pick a replay that you want to watch. Anyone in specific here, or any specific one?
I don't know if you saw the Steam message I sent you a few days ago about one of the replays, but it might not be available now.
I don't believe so. I'll check really quick. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't see this.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll still try to download it really quick.
Just gonna, yeah, it might not be available. I'm not sure.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay, nice. Yeah, just in the
awesome.
future. If you want to, get in touch with me or whatever, it's usually better to do it through Skype.
Cool.
Because Steam doesn't give notifications usually for messages. But yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
So this game, you were Luna. You went okay. You went Aghs. Okay, interesting.
It comboed well with Void, I felt like, in that particular game.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great item. It depends sometimes though. Like if they have a lot of BKB buyers, it can be iffy. But I
Yeah,
think it's really strong.
I definitely don't get it every game.
That's good. Okay. Okay. So starting items look pretty good. Um, so with Luna, sometimes I get the Ring of Protection start if I think the Basilius Ring will benefit like my supports. But normally I like to go for like the Wraith Band build. So not the full Wraith Band, but just getting the components. So Wraith Band. Okay. So just getting a circlet in the recipe. That way you can just buy the slippers of agility at the shop, and like you have a full Wraith Band and 2 sets of regen. I think that's slightly better if you don't have a lot of range supports, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The Ring of Protection build is totally fine as well, so no worries about that. Positioning at the start is good. You also don't skill anything, which is great. Okay. I don't believe you get a kill here if you skill your nuke, so it's okay. 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 When you like run from the bounty rune, in most games anyway, if you have time, you want to run immediately to the lane. You might have missed out on it here, just because of the positioning. But yeah, it's important to try to get the block off.
Yeah. Normally I do, but I didn't think I was gonna make it. So.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be pretty close. Oh, okay, so first thing I see is like, and this might seem like nitpicking, but I really think it's important. I wouldn't bring it up otherwise. Basically, like look at the way your camera is positioned right now. The only things you need to worry about are like all on the bottom side of the screen. So like this range creep and then everything below it. And you have this like big chunk of screen like
That I'm not using.
yeah, like this all of this is completely unimportant. You don't need to be looking at this at all. So it might seem very minor, but it would make a difference in a lane where like you need to keep track of where enemy heroes are positioned so that you can lane accordingly. So yeah, if you just move your camera down a little bit, it'll make a huge difference. You can really see what's going on like a lot better. You can make decisions based on that. Okay. Okay. CSing's fine. You turn off your Bessie. That's great. Okay, never go for denies over CS. There's pretty much no situation where it's good. The gold is just almost always better. The only time I can think of it being like better is if you know for sure that the other guy is going to level up on that creep and you need to kill him in that time period or something like that. But that's pretty next level, so don't worry about it. Just always go for CS over denies. Okay. Okay.
Missed a bunch there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about going for CS unless it's like a conceptual thing. Obviously, like CSing is really important and it's something you should practice, but not helpful for me to talk about that stuff. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is a pretty easy lane, so I'm going to speed through it a little bit and see how you approach it. Okay. I want to see what you do with your skill build, because I think it's actually really important, and a lot of people make this mistake. They go for 2 points on Lunar Blessing.
Yeah, I think I'd probably do this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of people are afraid to get Moonglaves at level 4, and like that's, you know, rightfully so, right? You don't want to push the wave too much until you're ready to go farming. But I think it's really important that you at least save the skill point and not level anything up. So that way, when you're ready to go farming, you don't have this like useless point in Lunar Blessing. Like the extra damage is nice, but Moonglave's damage for farming is just, it's like unparalleled. It's so good. It's way better than, you know, comparatively for just farming, it's way better than Lunar Blessing.
Well, I guess, so my question then would be, would you say maybe Lunar Blessing's better if you're going to stay in lane and Moonglaves are better if you're going to go to the jungle?
Even then, it depends. Moonglaive definitely better if you're going to go to the jungle, but it depends on like how many heroes you have attacking people, how many heroes you are attacking. So like if you get multiple bounces on heroes, then it's usually better to get Moonglaves. But I guess you can make an argument for if you're going to group much like very very early, like you have a Chen or something, then it's okay to get 2 points in Lunar Blessing. Because then you're gonna have a lot of heroes concentrated and pushing. But I think in like probably 80% or more, probably more of scenarios, you're gonna go for a Moonglaive centric build. You know, after Lucent Beam. Like I think that's ideal. Like to me, 8 damage just doesn't seem that good. It's like, you know, it's good, right? Like she wouldn't have the ability.
Physically bad, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like Luna's all about like getting an early lead and then farming extremely fast, pushing out waves extremely quickly. And I don't think that... I think this point actually slows her down quite a bit for that. So unless you're getting a significant advantage through fighting or something like that, then Moonglaves are usually better. And like it's pretty rare to be fighting like early in pubs, unless you're playing against a dual lane. But even then, it's not like you're just gonna, you know, like start right-clicking somebody and then it's gonna go from like one of you dies. Like it's usually gonna be trading or something like that. So Moonglaves are usually better. Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. Yeah, this is totally fine to use your Lucent Beam like that. You don't want to do too much, but in that case, it was good. Okay. Okay. But pick up your treads, it's good. I think you just kill this guy. Yeah, this guy just dies. Okay. So because he has no creeps here, this guy is literally just dead if you ult. He has no counterplay. Like as soon as he passes this threshold here, you just ult and kill him. That's pretty big.
I misjudged when my creeps were going to show up, I think, so...
Okay, so that's fine. Missing kills like that is pretty big, but it technically doesn't hurt you, so okay. Definitely limits your like carry potential though, because now this guy's going to pressure you, and you're probably not going to get another kill opportunity like that for a little bit anyway. Also, I think a camera kind of improvement could like help this. Okay, so you look at this.
As in, like, where I'm looking on the map, you mean?
Yeah. So, like, where your camera is physically positioned.
Okay.
Here you have 2 range creeps. No, I guess it's not really a camera thing. I guess I really think it's just like knowing how much damage. Yeah, it's just a judgment kind of thing, which can't really teach you how to have better judgment other than like trying to explain decisions and like why something is bad and why something is good. So I won't go over that too much.
Dire's top tower is
Okay.
under attack.
I also noticed that you're not like clicking on any heroes. Like whenever this guy walks into lane, your first instinct should be to try to position like the best you can, accordingly to what hero it is, and 2, you should try to check his inventory to see if he has like a freakishly fast blink or something. Even though it's like extremely unlikely, right? Like he would have to farm a ton of stacks to get it at 745.
Yeah.
But maybe he just went for like a naked blink rush or something. Like you don't know, since you haven't clicked on him. So it's important for you to like check this kind of thing, and not just on heroes that could have blinks or whatever. Just like every hero. Basically, like if you make a habit of just clicking on everybody you see, just to check like do this, like oh okay I'm gonna look bottom, click on Dazzle, see what he has, all this stuff. Like it can't hurt you. Like you don't lose anything from it, and you only gain information. So that's a healthy thing to do.
Radiant's
Okay.
middle tower is under attack.
What the hell? Okay. What the fuck? He just... Alright, why did he just stun? I'm confused. Alright. So after he's a stun here, I don't think you have to be really afraid. I think he should hit him a little bit and just pressure him. You don't lose anything, so like focus on CSing much more, but definitely go for some harass. If they choose to dive later on, which it looks like they might, they'll be lower HP. Alright, what is going on? Okay, what the fuck? My only criticism here, other than what I just said, was you should have moved your camera over like as soon as Pugna got on. It is possible the last hit while not looking, so yeah. But I mean, they killed themselves, so it doesn't matter. But it is important to like see what's going on. So you have like more time to react, so to speak.
Another ward OP.
Pretty good spell. Right, here you should definitely be pushing as hard as you can. Like toggle your Aquila and just push really hard. Basically, like 2 guys just died, so you know that they can't be there. And then if anyone else goes up, or anyone else TPs top, then you know that they can't be in the other lanes. So like that lane is left open, you make some space for your team, and also farm at the same time. So it's good. So you do end up pushing a little bit, but could be a little faster.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. So this is going to be the starting point of when Moodglaives would really benefit you, like having another level. Okay, this guy just ults. Interesting. Okay. Wait, how did he get here? Oh, he was top. Okay. Okay. So I don't really have too big of a critique here, other than if you're not going to be doing anything here, you should just back up and go do something else. Like I guess you could be waiting for the creep wave, but I still think rather than doing that, you should naturally go to this camp. Like that should be your first instinct. In this case, it would have been bad because Aghs was here. But either way, I think like it doesn't even matter that this guy is here because you can just ult and kill him again. Yeah.
I think I do, and then it hits creeps.
Yeah. So the timing is a bit off here. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
So let's look at your camera while you were doing this. I'd imagine you were just like, yeah, you flick your camera up. Okay, so you can't see the creep wave during this whole time. Yeah. So that's something like very specific to Luna because like your ult is so reliant on the target being isolated, at least early on. Okay. So yeah, I guess like my only advice is to be a little bit more mindful of where creeps are. Try not to tunnel vision. Like that's it's much easier said than done, right? Like you can't just turn the tunnel vision switch off. As unfortunate as it is.
If only.
Yeah. I mean, I have that issue too. I'm getting better for sure, but still something I struggle with. Okay. Oh, Pugna saves you. All right. So this is good because Aghs does not have mana for his ult or for his call. If he calls you under tower here, you probably die. Just because he gets extra armor, he doesn't die in one hit anymore. That becomes a big issue. But
I don't know. With 26 HP, you still think he wouldn't have died in one hit?
Well, it's 40 armor. I mean, you have
That is a lot.
110, 40. He might have died in one hit.
Let the skies take you.
I think it's tough to say. I mean, he might have died in one hit, so I don't know. And I think Pugna saves you no matter what. I don't really have too much criticism for this, other than like, it didn't seem like he looked around the map to see where people were. Like, theoretically, Ricky. Oh no, I guess you just got Ricky low.
I had been looking at the mini map on that one.
Mhm,
So
okay.
I hadn't like moved my camera, but I was looking at the mini map when I dove there.
Okay, so that's good that you're doing that. That's extremely healthy, obviously. Like, you don't lose anything from doing that, so it's good. My one criticism with like not looking at or not moving your camera though is you can't check inventories to see who has TPs.
I was
So
about
like,
to say, yeah.
yeah, that's like the only thing that's bad. And in this case, like, the only person who has a TP is Void, and he doesn't have Chrono, so it doesn't matter.
Well, no, he's on my team.
Oh shit, okay, you're right. Jesus, I don't know why I was like just assuming these heroes were all the same. The positioning was really odd. But yeah, anyway, you understand what I mean. Like,
Yeah, no.
okay, yeah, that's funny. Okay, 6K player here. Don't know who's on the same teams. But yeah, so Beast and Dazzle don't have TPs. Sven doesn't have TP, and you could have moved your camera, and that would have been pretty tough to do and like execute the fight at the same time. But it's something to work on, and I think it's very doable. I don't think it's that challenging. If you like kind of drill it into your head that you need to do that. And in most games, you're not even going to be punished for that, right? Like, that's preparing for a worst case scenario where these guys, know what they're doing, or are at least reactive players. But still healthy, I think. But it's good that you went for that kill for sure. I would say you should salve up here, mainly because they have a Ricky, and like he's going to be TPing soon. You just don't want to be left in a position where like you're very low HP and he jumps you, because like you can't use this during a fight, right? Like most likely anyway, depending on how it goes. But yeah. Also, it'd be good to have a TP by now. It's just a very useful item. Like that, for a number of reasons. I'm sure I don't have to list them.
75 gold to become a global hero, right?
Yeah, basically. And it's also a good escape spell, like especially against heroes with no CC. Like if Ricky ever goes on you and you're at a decent amount of HP, you can just TP out.
Well, he's pretty far behind me, so I shouldn't, in theory, have to TP out against him. But
Yeah, no, for sure.
Normally, yes.
Yep. Okay, so here you decide to go back. I'm assuming it's mostly because Ricky is here, but I think if you just salve up, you can stay in the lane and keep pressuring, and that would be better. Like, it's good that you're going to the jungle because it's safe and you're getting golden experience no matter what here, but it's bad because you're in a position where you can push the lane and you can pressure this tower, but you're not doing it. So while you are getting golden experience, you're not applying any pressure, and you could be doing both in lane, and that's good. So alternatively, you could have salved up, so you're full HP, because you were like 700 to 800 after this camp, dominated your creep, and then gone to stack Ancients or something like that. And that way, you could still get gold through the jungle, or like, I guess invest in gold, or like invest your time into getting gold, while you're also getting golden experience and pressuring in lane. So I think that would be your best option here. And that's your best option in most games. At least until they start getting like big items like Blink Dagger on Aghs, maybe a Blink on Sven if they get an early one, stuff like that. But basically, long story short, if you're ever in a position where you can push out the lane really quickly, even if you just go jungle right afterward, it's almost always better to do that.
And that's one thing I do need to get better about, is stacking Ancients with the Dominator. I don't do that in this game, so...
Yeah, no, that's definitely huge. That's like not the whole point of the item, because you can also use it to scout and fight, but it's definitely like the easiest way to make your golds like just go crazy. Like it's so good. And it's extremely easy as well. Like, it's not mechanically demanding, as long as you're like on the ball. So it's definitely a good investment of your time. I'd say it's totally fine to just like ignore the scouting portions of HOD until you're like a little bit more advanced. But yeah, that's something you want to make a habit of, especially if you play a lot of HOD heroes. Okay.
And the reason I was back there was because Sven was missing, and then I came back to the lane once I saw him show up mid.
Okay,
so.
That's good. Yeah, that's good that you're thinking like that. Okay. So yeah, do you like use a hotkey that centers your hero or your camera on your hero a lot? Like Do you just press
F1,
one a lot?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, F1. Do you like hold it down or anything like that? Okay, yeah. So
I usually just double click it to center if I was like scouting or something around
okay,
the map.
yeah, that's fine. As long as you're not doing that, it's okay. But definitely like try to be more like conscious of your camera positioning, because this is a big issue, I think. Like, so let's look at your camera right here. Okay, so you see these creeps, and that's good, but you still have so much vision. Yeah, you still have all this vision, and like you could see it on the minimap, like theoretically. But like Luna has such insane night vision. Like she has 1800 with Lunar Blessing, which is nuts compared to the 800 of normal heroes. So you definitely want to take advantage of this. Pretty scary that you're not looking around, but it's okay. It's something that's like fairly easy to fix if you're conscious of it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So like even here approaching the tower, you had no way of knowing what was going on down here, except for the minimap. So that's not good. Okay. So you're pressuring this is good. Okay. I don't think I have any criticism here. Looks like you did a great job. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing. Okay, well, good job. It's good. Not much to say about that. Yep. Good stuff.
Has fallen.
Well, I gotta assume that he figured he'd catch me more centered in the, or maybe he overestimated the slow of his smoke bomb. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gotta be something like that, but either way, he's certainly wrong. But it's all good. Okay, so this is a crucial decision that you decide to push top area. This is good, and only because Aghs is dead, Ricky is like just respawning, and there's also a huge fight going on bottom. So by you doing this and pushing out this wave, you're basically like making these guys make a choice. Like, do I go bottom and help my teammates, or do I go top and stop the Luna? And that's a hard decision, right? Like, unless you're able to like perfectly understand what's going to happen, wherever you TP, then it's a tough decision. So you doing this is extremely good, and this is like one of the most important things this carry. So this is good to see. Okay. I definitely want you to stay here. Okay. So Beastmaster is spawning right now.
Top tower.
And he's a hero that's hard to solo kill because he can just spawn units. Yeah, okay. So he TP stop, that's fine. You should click on him right away here, just to see what he has. I don't think he has anything. Yeah, he has nothing like crazy noteworthy, but like he does have a ward, and that's information you can use, right? Like if you ever see him just like run up to the side of the cliff and then walk back, he probably warded. Or something like that. Like it's something to keep in mind, right? It doesn't hurt you, so. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, so also when you're split pushing like this, Moonglaves is way better. Like you can push so much more quickly with it, and threaten towers, like much more effectively, I guess, is what I'm looking for here. Okay, you get roared. What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright. So like, this is weird, right? Because he just randomly fucking roars you. And any sane person would like think that, oh, I'm getting ganked. Someone else is here, right? But this guy is ridiculous, and he just goes on you for no reason.
That's why I ran away. I saw
Yeah.
someone else was coming.
Yeah, that was totally fine.
It's like Aghs was probably there because he wasn't on the map, but he
Yeah.
wasn't apparently.
And also Ricky is off the map too. Like he's not showing. Like he's still invis. So
Yeah.
I mean, technically this reaction is wrong, but really like practically the reaction was totally fine. This is completely fine. But yeah, I'm not gonna say this is a misplay. You did everything right here. It's really weird. All right, whatever.
I don't know what exact MMR bracket this game is because it was a party MMR. So it wasn't with my solo MMR.
Okay.
So then Weaver shows up and just basically insta-murders this guy.
Yeah, man, that was really strange. It's very rare to see stuff like that, because that was just like, he was really mad at you and he yelled at you or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's strange, but what can you do? You had the correct reaction.
Dire's middle
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay.
Radiant's
Yep, you just get a free tower, pretty much. I think you just kill this guy, I hope. Okay. Yeah, so you've had a lot of situations where this Aghs just like begs you to kill him with your ult, but you don't oblige. So yeah, this hero is like, he's actually pretty squishy comparatively. Like he doesn't take much physical damage after he uses call, but after and before that, he's still quite squishy. So don't be too afraid of this hero. You have to respect like blink call, of course. You always have to do that with blink heroes, but He's like any other hero. You can always go for kills on him. The only thing he can do here is like try to juke around trees when you go to ult, but like you have creeps chasing him, so you're gonna have a constant supply of vision.
I guess that's one thing that I need to work on is not underestimating like situations where I can kill someone, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's extremely important. I mean, that's something everyone has to work on. Like, Arteezy has to work on that, for God's sake. Like, nobody is perfect at this. Yeah. Okay, so you get ganked here. Yep, okay, you just solo kill that guy. And you get up. Okay, that was great. I would argue that you shouldn't be here in the first place because you already, like, did your job, and there's no more farm to be had. You know, no more safe farm anyway. Like, nobody's strong on the map here. You already got the tower. So, you really have no business being here. At this point, like, and it even looks like you kind of know this, right? Like, you're just walking around back and forth, like, man, I really want to get this farm, but I also don't.
I don't want to die.
Yeah. So I think you should have checked out a little sooner here. But like you used your ult and you went for a kill, so it's fine. And it ends up working out because you TP out. Okay. So yeah, it ends up working out, but I still think it would have been slightly better to leave. Also, I don't know why Dazzle didn't grab that guy, but it's all good. But yeah, your reaction here was good. Okay. So you went for BKB first, and this is like a pretty common mistake that people make is they assume that Luna always needs BKB. In this game, like, look at their heroes. So Beastmaster, his main stun is Primal Roar. Pierces spell immunity, yes. Also lasts very long, so it's not something you can just, like, you know, walk off. Aghs, Berserker's Call. 3.2 second stun, pierces spell immunity, yes. Okay, Sven, God Strength, he hits really hard through BKB and anything except evasion. Ricky, yes, he has Smoke Screen, which is a great spell to BKB. Sometimes you just have to buy a BKB literally just for this hero. So that would be a big issue. So you could consider it here.
The other thought process here was that I assumed that Aghs immediately after Blink would get Blade Mail.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to get BKB before I went Aghs because I knew he'd probably, unless he's really, really bad, would probably be able to farm up Blade Mail before I could get an Aghs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's reasonable.
That was the other thought process there, was that I assumed Aghs would get Blade Mail.
Okay, that's fairly reasonable. Either way, though, I still think you should go for like an S and Y item, and you can go for BKB afterwards if you deem it necessary. Basically, when you go BKB, you still farm fairly quickly because you're Luna, but a Luna without Yasha compared to a Luna with Yasha, like in terms of farming speed, it's like a night and day difference, no pun intended. It really is like crazy. It increases your farm so much. I wish I could like have numbers here, and I wish I had like a graph or something to show you. But just moving more quickly, attacking more quickly makes you farm so much faster. And that's why I almost always recommend going Yasha item, like either Manta or S and Y. In this game, S and Y is probably slightly better because they have melee heroes, and you can kite them a little bit. But yeah. I did notice you built Manta too, after this. Like you go for Yasha here. And that's fine in a lot of cases, but unless you plan on grouping, I almost never recommend going BKB first. Like, maybe it will save you in some cases, but in a lot of cases, like, if you're not going to be grouping, then you shouldn't buy a grouping item. You should just buy a farming item. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's hard to decide when you're not going to group or not, but yeah. I generally recommend people just stick to at least getting a Yasha item before going BKB or anything like that. I also would argue that you don't necessarily need a BKB this game. You could very easily get away with, like, Manta Butterfly, I want to say. Like, the Butterfly is definitely in there somewhere, relatively early, because they have so much physical damage, but yeah. Okay. So, like, this kind of, like, further proves my point, I think, is, you get BKB, and then you immediately go to farm. So, like, if you had Yasha, this would be much more efficient. Okay. So it's fine. You look at the fight, that's good. Okay, you also decide not to go top. Oh, okay, fuck. Okay, so this is a big mistake in my opinion. Yeah. So this is pretty common as well. Basically, like, you spent a lot of time in the jungle, like, not knowing what to do, which is, you know, obviously bad, but I'm not going to grill you too hard for that. Ideally, you'd be pushing mid right now. Rather than like going for this. But the big mistake here is choosing to go back top when nobody else on your team can do anything. Like, yes, theoretically, these guys should have TPs. They should be able to go top and defend. But they don't. Only Void does. And he doesn't have Chrono, so he's useless. Well, you know, relatively useless.
Yeah.
So in this case, when you TP top, you're really isolating yourself. Like, even if your teammates did have TPs, if you were to TP here and then immediately get blinked on by Aghs or somebody like that, like Aghs isn't even there at the time, but he could be. You don't have any vision of him, so if you were to TP top right now and get blinked on, your team can't do anything, and you just wasted all that time. Like, for, you know, you literally invested time into dying. So you need to be careful about isolating yourself like this. I'm really surprised they didn't decide to go on you here, but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
I don't think, does Sven have Blink here at this
No,
point?
he does not.
So, yeah, Ricky probably could have.
Yeah, Ricky could have very easily gone on you. Okay. So now you're in this weird spot where you and Pugna are up here. I don't know why they're afraid. Okay. I guess, like, Decapify is a good spell, but... I guess that they're afraid because you have BKB. Okay, that's fair. So yeah. I think my only issue with this is, like, you TP'd before you knew your teammates had TPs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, you guys probably could have defended if Omni had a TP and you just run up here, because you have BKB. Like, this is the one good, or the, one of the few good things about this item, is that if you have it, you're really strong in most cases. Arguably, this is, like, the absolute best case scenario, because Aghs and Beastmaster are not here. So you can go for this. I think it'd be a little different if one of those two heroes was there, but it's okay. So yeah, I think long story short, like, you want to be careful of TPing to defend tier 1s when you have an opportunity to push another one. In this case, like, mid is a much higher value tower, just because of, like, you know, how much access it gives you to Radiant Jungle. Like, it opens up this path. They don't have vision on here anymore. Opens up the path to the Ancients, stuff like that. Whereas, like, this tower doesn't really give you guys that much. You can get to their T1 faster, and you can also get to these two camps faster, but it's not that good. Yeah. So I think you understand my point.
Yeah.
Okay. So your push doesn't go too poorly. Sven gets away, that's fine. Also, my issue with this is, like, and it's kind of, like, making it more apparent here, that, like, I'm just realizing that. But basically, like, when you TP up here, what do you have to do afterward? Like, you can defend the tower, yes, that's good, but you have no objective to go for after this. Like, this tower is already gone. So, like, this part of the map doesn't matter to you, really. Like, unless you're going for the tier 3 or whatever. I was going to say tier 2, but it's gone too. So, you really have no objective up here, other than Rax. And, like, it's a little bit too early for that. You don't have the positioning for it. So, it would be totally fine to just sack this tower to get a middle tower. And you end up getting the tower anyway, but yeah. I think there's just, like, further, you know, solidifies what I'm trying to say.
No, for sure. That's, I mean, that's exactly the kind of stuff that I'm, you know, was looking to get out of this anyway. It was like kind of, you know, understanding where my decision making could be better.
Okay, that's good. That's like probably. I mean, I say like everything is the most important thing in Dota, but like map movements are, you know, up there for sure in terms of priority. Especially when you're on a carry like Luna, who can farm really quickly and push really quickly, and also team fight. So yeah. Let's look at this little period of time here. What's going on? Alright. CTP top, blah blah blah. You end up pushing. Blah 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 blah. Push this out. And immediately you start running towards this fight. Not much you can do, so you back off. That's a good decision. Get the bounty rune, go mid. Here you're spending a lot of time running around, like, rather than farming. You want to get into the habit of trying to, like, farm in between places that you want to run to. So, like, rather than running down here, you could actually just clear the jungle and go straight down the lane. Like, go to this camp, go to this camp, go to this camp, this camp, this camp, then here, and then go to Ancients. Something like that. And obviously it'll change depending on what's going on the map, but yeah. You definitely want to avoid these long stretches of time where you're just running to places. Unless it's very urgent for you to be there, like they're doing Roche, or your team is fighting mid, or something like that. That's really important, especially like when you consider how quickly Luna farms. Like every second that you waste, like, really matters. Like you're getting closer and closer to losing the game every second that your gold is not going up. Okay, so you're still spending a lot of time running around. It's okay though. Decided to go push mid. I don't know if you have vision on Aghs here. This is his sentry.
He kills this, or yeah, he could. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
let's
just
look.
killed our ward, so.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you did know he was in this spot, so that's fine. Okay. All right. So you look at that fight. It's good. You push mid. Here, since there are so many people top, your first instinct should be to run bottom, like right away to the lane. Don't even go to these camps. Like just immediately start running to the lane. Like basically, since they just got a pick, they're more inclined to go for an objective. That's just what people do. So your first instinct, unless you want to fight them like right away, should be to run bottom and push. And that way, like this puts a little pressure on them. It's a little different because there's no objective for them to defend, so you need to put a lot of pressure and get it to the T3 in order for them to rotate. But it's still important to do that.
I think we were trying to defend our tier 1 mid here. I think we end up fighting right here, if I remember correctly.
And it's not bad to do
There it
this.
is.
Yeah, so Void goes in. It's not bad to do this, but like if they group as 5, I don't think you guys want to fight. You have really strong heroes, don't get me wrong. Like Omni Knight, Void, Luna, and Dazzle are all, not Dazzle, what am I talking about? Okay, so just these 3 heroes are quite strong fighters. Like obviously they're amazing team fight heroes. But I still think it would be in your best interest to push and defend your T1 in that sense. Like if they decide to go for the T1, you can always TP in, right? If it's a good fight. But if you're staying here, then you have no option to TP bottom. So I think in this case it would be better to go bottom, put some pressure on the map, and like do that, and then TP into a fight if it's good, rather than trying to go for a fight out here. Because like these guys have no reason to be split up like this. Theoretically, like, and I know it's a pub, and I know it's not even like it's not very high MMR, so they're gonna make mistakes. That's just natural. But they have no reason, like if they were logical human beings, to just not 5-man down mid right now. Even if you guys get a great chrono and a great what is the spell called? Eclipse. Like they have no reason to back off. And it looks like they're gonna win this fight anyway. If I had to guess, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, yeah. So this is definitely an issue. I mean, it's not only you guys are outnumbered, but you also have like, you don't have a lot of damage here. Like Luna does a lot of damage, but not in a situation where there's so many targets next to each other, and you don't have that many damage items yet. So yeah, the call here, like before I even saw this team fight, was to go bottom for sure.
Okay.
Regardless of how this turned out. Okay, and that's something you want to think about before you listen to a teammate who says like, "Hey, let's fight."
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
When you're playing carry, this is your priority list. It's objectives / pressure over farm over kills. Like it's always this. So pressure is king, objectives are king, and then if you can't go for any of these two, try to go for farm. If you get farm, try to go for kills. Obviously, if you get the opportunity to go for kills, like certainly take them. Like these Aghs kills that we were talking about earlier. So like when Aghs just runs up at you and like asks to die, you're totally fine to take that kill. But you're not going out of your way for this. Like he's literally going to you, so it's fine. But yeah, this is something to live by. I think is this list. That makes things really simple. I say it's simple, but it's certainly not. But it makes things like a little bit more simple, and that matters, I think. Okay. So what's going on here with the items? Okay.
I think at this point I was like, or before that fight, I think I was like 3K ahead of their top net worth hero, if I remember correctly, or it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So here you're about that, pretty much exactly that. Then
I just remember because I had watched the replay at one point as well myself. So.
Okay. Yeah, so Sven actually, he just gained like a ton of net worth.
Yeah, he gained like almost 3K gold from that fight.
Yeah, so that's pretty big. And it's not like, he gets that and then he can't farm for a bit, because he's still healthy, he can still stay on the map and, be efficient.
Except
that's certainly
he
rough.
suicided against the tower, so.
Ah, really? Okay. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, you weren't
Weaver
kidding.
was pretty strong there. And
Yeah. I think Weaver's a really good hero. Yeah, he really goes for it. Holy shit. Alright, this guy is nuts. Okay, there's a lot of stuff happening in this game that's like Scary. All right, I don't want to play against these guys. Like they're crazy. They don't know what they're gonna do. All right. So I don't know if that.
That's like why some of the times when I backed, it was like, well, okay, there was no follow up here.
Yeah, no, this guy was just like being completely aggressive. Like he wanted to kill you. He thought he could, but yeah, that's funny. All right.
Radiant's top tower.
So under normal circumstances, this would be like a pretty big disaster for you guys, but you end up getting a return kill on the Sven and Beastmaster. Absolutely no reason for them to die there, but you know it's all good. So you push mid, it's okay. Sven is dead, so yeah. You still have to be careful here because our Weaver is bottom and you don't have Omni yet. Yeah, so Sven just showed top, so that's like a little bit of breathing room for you guys, but there's nothing stopping Aghs from just blinking on you guys right now and trying to initiate. Also, yeah, that should be ward. Okay. Yeah, there's Aghs. Gets his blade mail. Okay. Oh, that was a nice chrono, actually. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the chrono really saved you guys there. That was quite good. It's a shame you didn't have your ult up, but yeah.
Yeah, that would have been. I hit the button. And I'm just like, oh wait.
Yeah, that's a shame. So yeah, I can actually see this in your play too, because like normally if you knew your ult wasn't up, you would just go hit this guy, but you were like running down here and for a little bit, like this little thing here, like you're very clearly trying to ult. That's funny, but okay. So target selection is fine. You don't have much to work with here because of your short range and chronosphere. Ideally, you would nuke Dazzle right here. That would be pretty big. He has Grave, but yeah. Okay. Actually, when did he use Grave? Okay, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Okay, yeah, so he was Grave, so that's fine that you didn't use it.
And then I was... Oh no, I wasn't silenced because I had my BKB up, I think, but...
Yeah.
So there's the Grave.
Use your BKB right there. Grave out, okay.
And then Grave goes down.
So yeah, you definitely should nuke him here, and that would make a big difference. Yeah, so you definitely have an issue with like tunnel visioning a little bit. Like you pull yourself back and like try to look at the whole fight here, like when you try to nuke Dazzle, but it was like a little bit too late.
Yeah.
So you end up missing a kill here, and that's definitely because you were just looking at Aghs. Like you know, you're trying to kill this guy, which is not bad, right? Like you should try to finish kills, but you definitely need to like be looking at this guy and then also keeping track of where other heroes are because it matters. Okay. So Aghs ends up getting away. So it's actually a bad fight for you guys. Holy shit! Like after that, after it went so well. Okay. So I mean, this is really mostly caused by like you guys splitting up like this. I think after you don't kill the Dazzle, you should just back up here. Also, like your Omni Knight ends up getting in trouble. I'm assuming Ricky or Sven goes on him. Yeah. Okay. So like while this is going on, while you guys are diving, Sven gets behind Omni, stuns him. Okay. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, well, most partially because Omni didn't follow us either. He kind of just sat there and was hitting creeps for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's definitely silly. I think he has like the right idea though.
Tower shots.
Yeah. Okay. So he's definitely making mistakes, right? Like that's for certain. And he would be slightly safer, but still, like if Sven is behind you guys at this point, like Sven's next target is like to just go to you guys. Obviously, like there are heroes here running past tower. You should go kill them. Yeah, so even though Omni was being like stupid, it's still kind of like overall just a stupid play by you guys to be here.
Yeah. No, once we got that far, we should have backed off after we missed the Dazzle kill, I feel like.
Yeah, you could very easily just back up and hit creeps and then start hitting the tower, or just back off. That'd probably be the better play. So you end up getting out, which is good. Like, it was a good BKB TP, but yeah.
That was Sven who BKB'd.
Oh yeah, no, it's just you TP'd. Okay. So yeah, either way, it was a good TP. Nothing wrong with that. Wait, what? Do you... Okay, that's weird. The second counter for the BKB cooldown was throwing me off, but it must be because you already used it once, I guess. I don't know, that's weird.
I used it during the fight, so...
Yeah, okay.
So it was still, that was the 10-second charge, probably, which is why it was so long still.
Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, so that ended up being pretty bad for you guys, and that was, like... It's kind of destined to go poorly, even with that sick chrono. Maybe if you had ult, it would be a little different, but yeah. I think the big issue was you just tried to force a power play when you didn't have the power. They had more people, so it didn't make that much sense. It would have been better to just back off and push another lane. Yeah. Okay. So if you go Aghs after this, I'm a bit concerned. Like basically, it's a good Aghs game because you have a Void. Like that's true, and Void is a great setup for Aghs. But because this guy has a BKB and he's also their main damage dealer, like I think this guy needs to die no matter what. And it's tough because they have Dazzle, right?
I guess the thinking was maybe the Aghs ulti would wipe out their supports during the chrono, and then Sven would be by himself, and we'd have him isolated that way.
Okay, that's not bad thinking. If you thought that, then I have no issues with you going this. Because then at least you're using using your head and like trying to think. Which like it sounds like I'm being patronizing, but I'm really not. Like I don't think in my Dota games sometimes. Like I just go with the flow.
Like I had no anticipation of wiping Sven out like solo, for example, with it, because I know like any decent Sven is going to go BKB.
Yeah, against these heroes.
Yeah, I knew that the rest of their heroes weren't really BKB heroes, so the Aghs ulti would be really good if we got a decent chrono off against the rest of their team.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's certainly true. Okay, so if that's the case, you're kind of like relying on your ult to do a lot of the work, rather than like you hitting people, which is totally fine. Like that's pretty healthy in a lot of cases.
And we had a Weaver with tons of physical damage, which is the other reason I thought it was decent.
Yeah. No, so even if they do go BKB, you can still kill them, right? So that makes total sense. But that's even more of an argument to not go BKB rather than Manta. Like if you want Manta, you could farm more quickly, get your Aghs more quickly, and also do like pretty good damage. And since you're relying on Chrono, or just your ult in general, you don't have to worry about the Blade Milk thing going on. Worst case scenario, Axe Blade Mail is in Chrono, and you take a lot of damage that way. Yeah. So I think that's a good argument for going a Yasha item over the BKB in this case.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump into this. Okay.
I'll take that.
Okay, so just farming. I think at this point, I've gotten like most of what I want to say about this game out of the way. Like it's mainly like pushing lanes whenever possible. Like it's really important as Luna, and like especially in situations like the one that happened mid, where like you guys wanted to fight for whatever reason when you were a man down. Rather than going mid, you should just go push bottom because that will create pressure, and like you'll indirectly defend your T1 in this way because you can force people to TP back or whatever. Or you at least like you force these guys to show that they know what the right move is. Like the right move would be to barrel down mid and just take the tower. But maybe they mess up and send somebody bottom, which would be pretty common, right? Like that's not unreasonable in my opinion, to assume that they would TP someone here to defend. So yeah, that's especially important on like pretty much any carry hero that pushes waves quickly. It's like Luna, Sven, Jug, any of those heroes. Yeah. So I think that's a big thing. Obviously there were the times where you missed kills because you didn't use your ult and the karma stuff as well. But I think the biggest thing to take away from this game is the wave thing, for sure. Okay, so do you want to jump into another game and just watch the laning phase of that one?
Sure.
Okay. So let's do that.
Let's do one where I play mid.
Sure. Okay, so let me look at Dota buff. Okay, Lena, Puck. Do you want to loss?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't think. Let's do the Puck one.
Sure.
Because I guess maybe my decision making that one would be interesting to see more critique on as well.
Sure. Looks like you're Puck against Invoker. Okay, pretty common matchup. I'm not someone who specializes in like 1v1 matchups. I can like learn about them and try to give you tips on them, but certainly not my area of expertise. It's definitely like bigger picture stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I mean, I feel like Puck is a hero that really depends on having a good sense of bigger picture things as well.
No, for sure. Like knowing when to rotate and when like when to split push or go for kills or whatever. Like that's so important. Puck is really like one of those heroes that like, in order to play really well, you need to be good at everything. You need to be good at initiating, split pushing, fighting, farming, laning. Like you need to have pretty much it all. And that's why I think S4 is so good at the hero, is because he's just like a full package like kind of player.
And that's why I love watching S4 play, just to like kind of see what his like how he plays because like I feel like it's so informative, and I think a lot of his fundamentals are so sound. So like I don't know, he seems like one of the like I feel like watching Arteezy, for example, wouldn't be as useful for learning as like watching someone like S4.
I would agree for like semi or a little bit less experienced players. Arteezy is really good at like a lot of specific things. Like he's probably one of the best fighting and spellcasting players in the game, and he's also probably one of the best farmers. So I think if you're like a very high MMR player, then you can benefit more from watching Arteezy. But I would definitely agree that like if you were to pick a random game of S4 to watch and a random game of Arteezy's to watch, and you know you sit like a 3K, 4K player down, they would learn more from watching S4 probably. He's definitely like you said, one of the most fundamentally sound players. Like he's not very flashy, not very like fun to watch in that regard. But like, I guess like that's kind of wrong because like I have fun watching him. But yeah, he's fun to watch if you're a nerd and you like higher level stuff. I think that's basically what I'm getting at.
I guess I like watching him because like I don't know, because I know I can learn so much, and it's just so much going on that like there is available to pick up from what he does.
Right.
And I feel like I understand the game from a viewing perspective a lot better, and then like translating it into my play isn't as good. So in that regard, I'm kind of a nerd watching it, but from playing it, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That makes sense. Okay. So,
I mean, I'm sure you can tell from my last hitting that I don't play Puck nearly as often as Luna.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, there's a difference. I mean, I try to stay away from saying that kind of stuff. Like, it's just not helpful for me to say, like, oh, you should have got that last hit. You should have got that deny. But it is kind of an issue.
I'm missing a lot here.
Yeah, it is a big issue.
Although, I mean, to be fair, he has, like, way more damage than I do as well, but still. Like,
Does he?
there's definitely ones I need to be...
No, he doesn't have that much more.
Oh, no. Well, it definitely scaled up
62.
a lot faster.
Yeah, no, it definitely, like, ramps up like crazy. But level 1, you definitely have, you have a 1 damage edge on him in this case. Which obviously doesn't matter too much, but still, like, definitely no reason to miss these. So I know you don't have a lot of time to play, you know, right now especially. But I definitely recommend, if you have like 5 or 10 minutes a day, just get on and CS for a little bit. I think every player in the world would benefit from this, even Arteezy or like S4 or whatever.
And I think a lot of my last hitting's gotten worse over the last little like few months because I played so much like support as well.
No, that
like,
makes sense.
A lot of my Luna games, like it's like I've got like 300, but a lot of those came earlier on. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. If you're still playing support, that's okay. I still think you would benefit a lot from going for like last hit practice. Yeah. And that's a good way to like keep yourself fresh.
I'm not necessarily playing support by choice either, though. If that's what it made it sound like, it's more just like my team's always just
okay.
spam pick carries, and it's like, okay, well, we need a support. I'll play support, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense for sure. Yeah. All right. So let's look at this because I've been spacing out a little bit. All right.
That's fine.
All right. So I didn't see any like too big issues here. The big thing that I like to see is that you're not taking too much creep aggro when you're harassing. Like right here. So like you choose to attack him here, but his creeps are farther away from you than your creeps are away from him, if that makes sense. So he takes a lot of creep damage here, and you also kite back and like use your phase shift and stuff. So that was a good trade. This is something you really want to abuse when you're, you know, against a ranged hero, especially when you are a ranged hero. It's kind of in a shitty spot here, just because like, you know, he's on your high grounds. I think in this case, you kind of gave up too much ground here. Basically, like when he moves into this like area here, your first reaction should be to run this way rather than like running up to the hill, in my opinion anyway. Like because he's tanking the creeps so much. Like worst case scenario, you have to orb away. But if he's tanking the creeps like this whole time, then you're gonna eventually win the trade. It's a little weird because like he's a really strong hero and he has cold snap and everything, but I think you understand like what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. definitely like don't concede all this territory, because once he gets you isolated and it's just you versus him, like he has more damage than you, so he wins the trade. That simple. He didn't even skill the right spells or go over the right skill build, and he still wins. So it would still be like it'd be much worse. So definitely like when you're in a matchup like this, you want to abuse the creeps as much as you can. Like they're your allies. They're really important. Okay. Also, it does suck that you didn't get the bounty rune. I didn't say anything about that, but it is a big deal. Obviously, you know, it's not insurmountable. Like you can come back from that, but it does suck because he'll have more EXP. You don't get a salve, stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So last hits are a big issue for sure. I almost want to say I just want to speed through this, just because like the laning phase is pretty much lost. You can come back if Aghs ganks or like Lina ganks or whatever, or this guy messes up really big. But yeah, I think like I think just like I said, last hit practice would benefit you in this sense. I mean, I still do it, so yeah.
Yeah, it's never gonna hurt for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to go too ham either, just like 5 or 10 minutes, so it'd be good enough. Okay, so let's skip through to just see what's going on. Okay, so you're pushing a waves. We're running out of time, so I want to like get a general sense of what's going on in this game. Oh, I actually rush blink. Okay, interesting. Okay, so you got to gank bottom. It's good. Ideally, you do this whenever you can. I also like your skill build a lot. This is good.
Yeah, I max Waning Rift first usually.
Oh, you max Waning Rift.
Yeah, especially against Invoker.
Okay.
I figured it would be really useful to have the 3 seconds of silence early on.
Okay. So the only problem with that is you have to be in melee range, basically. Or not melee range, but you have to be really close to use it. So it's like less good for pushing out waves because it's less safe, but it's still good, like, for sure. If you're an aggressive player, I think this is good. And if you're able to play aggressively, then it's really good. You just gotta be a little careful, I think. But no, this is totally fine. That's something you should do. Okay. So I think going for Blink is actually like a really good choice in this game, or at least, you know, Blink first. Like obviously you buy Blink on Puck, but yeah, mainly because of the Invoker thing, like you said, and especially since you max Silence, if you Blink on top of him and then Waning Rift, you know, he's dead. You know, assuming you have some kind of follow up, so that's good. Also, Blink is extremely good against Dazzle, for the same reasons I talked about for Invoker. Yeah. Okay. I think a lot of the things that we talked about with Luna also apply to Puck, though it's a little bit like, you know, different because Puck is also an initiator and like a ganker, whereas Luna is more like, you know, I'm gonna hit creeps and then I hope people run to me because I'm not running to them. She's not really like an initiator. So Puck is like, okay, so we talked about like in between lanes you go for farm. Puck is like, you still do that, but you also like try to go for ganks if possible. Like you still try to keep the flow going. Like you go from this lane, let's say if you're Blink Dagon or whatever, you go maybe to these 2 camps, and then on your way, like you can go mid and kill this guy or something like that. Like I think you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm giving you like extremely general stuff, but I'm trying to give you like as much as I can. Okay, so let's just look at your endgame build and talk about it a little bit, I guess. Okay, C1 Hex, yep. Okay, so your item build was Blink, Treads, and 2 Hex. This isn't a bad build by any means, but it doesn't scale very well. Basically, like, your item progression has been really slow in this game. Unless you bought something else, which I don't think you did, and sold it. Yeah, so you went straight into Hex after Blink. And that's not bad, right? Like, you know, Hex Blink is one of the best combinations of items in the game. But you're basically going to have this long period where, like, you don't get any items after that. Like, unless you get a lot of kills, in which case you will. So I actually, like, I recommend going Midas after Blink in 99% of games.
Really?
Yeah, no, serious. Especially if you go for Brown Boots into Blink. Basically, like, in most games, you're going to have this weird period where, like, you're working towards your Hex, but, like, you can't kill anybody. And it's also hard for you to farm for whatever reason. Maybe they're, like, you know, there's a Blink Legion commander that's killing you with Sunstrike or something like that. There's usually just a lot of reasons that you don't want to go for a full item right away. I don't know. It's hard for me to make an argument for this, I think, because it's something that just, like, feels good to me. And I've also seen, like, RTZ and, you know, S4 do it as well. S4,
Midas.
yeah, S4 less so, but I've seen him do it once or twice in pubs, and it usually works out. I think rather than me like trying to sell this idea to you, I would recommend the idea after Blink and just see how you like it. I found personally that like I don't run into the wall of like I'm useless because I have a Midas because you know you have Blink after you have it after Blink, and you also don't run into the period where like I'm useless because I need my Hex or Yules or Veil or Aghs or whatever. Like I think you should just try it and see how you like it.
I'm not like doubting you so much as it was just kind of a surprising suggestion to me.
Yeah, no,
So, like,
definitely.
I'm willing to give it a shot for sure because the reasoning definitely seems sound.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely recommend trying it. I think that would interest you. Yeah, Puck is definitely a hero that's like hard as fuck to win on anyway, though. So
Especially in pubs where there's not a lot of coordination.
yeah, she definitely relies on that. If you focus a little bit more on split pushing in pubs, though, then it can help. Like just pushing out waves is the way you win pubs usually. Well, I mean, I say that like you know that's the only way, but that's a pretty reliable way to win. Is if you push the right waves at the right time. Then at least you have a higher percentage of winning. But yeah, okay. So really, the biggest things to focus on, I think, for you are just the wave things. Like I talked about that so much, but it really is like one of the most important things in Dota, and it applies to literally every core role and most supports as well. So, yeah. Do you have any like final questions or anything you want to talk about?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Offhand, I guess. Well, because you mentioned moving camera around a lot. I guess one thing I was wondering, because I used to do it, and I haven't, like, as far as itemization, I used to get Midas on Luna, but it seems like she's more in a place where by the time it pays off, she's starting to fall off.
Yeah.
I guess, is that something that you would agree with, or is that, I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that to an extent. I personally don't like it. I like going Yasha item instead for farming. It kind of acts like a Midas, but it's also really good for fighting. Also, like you said, you explained it perfectly, where like Luna's power spike is weird. It's like, how do I explain this? I'll open up paints, I guess. Okay. So Luna has like a weird curve. Like level 1, pretty weak hero. So 1, then all the way to 25. Let's just do this. Insane handwriting. Very good. So you got this. Got your Axis. Okay, so Luna's power curve is like this. Pretty weak. Getting a little stronger though. Then level 6 gets really strong. Like really, really strong. Like incredibly strong. So 6. Then it, starts to go down a little bit. Starts to go down. Then, 11, 16, standard power spikes. Then once she gets BKB, or like her big first item, it goes, way up. Then it starts to fall off a little bit. And then like it goes like this, sort of like this, and then it goes like way up, late game when she has 6 item. Like her power curve is definitely very strange in this regard. This was the worst drawing I've ever seen, but whatever. All right, I think you understand my point. Like, I think the visual helps a little bit.
In other words, because she gets her 6 items sooner than most other heroes, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she gets really strong, and then she falls off a little bit again. But she's really good late game, obviously. Whereas, like, if you go for Midas, and you're kind of like, you're still strong at 6, but it's like, maybe it's here, or it's like here, rather than, this peak. And, like, that's, maybe it's not a big enough difference to warrant it, but I still think, like, if you get Yasha, you farm just as fast, if not a little bit faster, if you go for the Moonglaive builds. Okay. Oh, okay, maybe, okay, just Eureka moment. Okay, maybe if you go for a fighting build, then you can actually argue that Midas is okay. Like if you're going for a fast BKB rather than a Yasha. But if you're going Yasha, then Moonglaives is definitely better. So, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
I think I just, spread out a bunch of shit. Okay. So, yeah, so I think that's actually, like, a good reasoning. Okay. So, I'm glad we talked about this. Holy shit, I learned something. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I just kind of talked. All right.
No, that's fine.
The Phantom strikes.
Yeah, so do you have anything else? If not, we should probably wrap things up.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely You know, it was awesome, like seeing some of the stuff pointed out for sure. Like as far as laning and making decisions of when and where to push. So yeah, that was definitely really helpful.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That's like the best thing you can say. Okay, great. Okay, yeah. So if you have any questions later on, just feel free to add me on Skype or add me on Skype. Just send me a message or whatever. It's totally cool. If you think of anything else. Okay. Well, good luck, man. Wow, this was
Yeah.
helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, peace, dude. Good luck with moving and everything too. It's
Thanks.
pretty stressful stuff.
Yeah, it's craziness.
All right. Well, peace, dude.
Yep, laters.